Man, does it feel great to be back. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Falls Count Anywhere on the Rhode Island Broadcasting Network. Erik Dunn here from Bridgewater, Massachusetts. I am very happy to be with all of you here this evening. I once again do express my apologies for the um, for the sudden approaching of last week. Was completely under the weather, definitely kicking my ass for sure, and I was in no condition to handle speaking for 30 minutes. Thankfully, it's gotten better now, and things have drastically improved since then, and I'm very grateful for that. Um, all I can say is that I'm getting there, I'm getting better, and it's we we're fighting, and right now, we are surviving. This is the times for us to, find a way to just navigate through the charted waters, so to speak, in the really choppy waters. But I'm glad to be back with all of you as Elimination Chamber in Toronto is in 10 days, and the card is already getting ready to almost be completed. Next week's broadcast, the last one of the month, Ron and I will go over the predictions together uh, and put our thoughts in on the card. So next week's going to be the Elimination Chamber preview. But for now, we're looking at some of the pieces left, the Raw and SmackDown takeaways, a couple surprises that I'll throw in there for you as well. But this show, unless God forbid I am sick again, is live every Wednesday night at 5 on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Please also follow us on our Facebook and our YouTube channels at Rhode Island Broadcasting. The tag should be there in a second. Buy me a coffee at our broadcasting is where we can try to help it and support the show as well. Patreon is where you can also there it is. Patreon is where you can also help support us, including shows like Going On Daily Sports Unfolded. Anything you guys can do will help, and trust me, they help. But if you want to be a sponsor and be a part of our RIB family, your ad is actually read over here. People will not only see it, but it'll be heard on the audio version for Spotify, Amazon, Red Circle, and many more. Your ad will be here. For those wanting more information, send email to the man behind the scenes, Rodrigo, at ribroadcasting.media at gmail.com. That's all one word, ribroadcasting.media at gmail.com. Ron will get you on your way, send everything to you that you need, and you can else, and so that way you will be able to completely join the family. Oh, I wish to still do that. I want to do that while the thing was there to cover my face on that. And also follow us there on Blue Sky at Alright Broadcasting. That's something new. Be one of the first to follow. And with that being said, this broadcast of Falls Count Anywhere is the exclusive property of Erik Dunn Productions, Ron Rigo, and Rhode Island Broadcasting. For the use of our audience in any publication, reuse, or redistribution by anyone is not prohibited and is given the express consent to be shared and is greatly appreciated. Yeah, the tightness of my chest from a week ago will now have allowed me to do my usual intro. So it's still there, but it's less. Getting there. All right, so let's begin. But before we get to our usual stuff, there are some surprises I want to add into you. I mentioned to you 2 weeks ago that WWE's current CCO, Paul Levesque, as known as the one and only King of Kings, the Game, and the Cerebral Assassin, the 14-time world champion Triple H, is going to be a two-time Hall of Famer when he is inducted into the 25 Hall of Fame class this year. We've got our second one, and it is the All-American girl, Michelle McCool. Living by the motto, faith to fight the good fight, heart to believe, and soul to search within, McCool's unique journey took her from a Diva Search competitor to the top of the division and ultimately to the pantheon of greatness in the WWE Hall of Fame. Debuting on SmackDown in '04 as a manager, McCool quickly learned that she wanted to be a competitor in the ring instead and worked harder than ever to prove that she belonged, going on to make history by becoming the inaugural Divas Champion in '08 and unifying that title with the WWE Women's title in '09. Her tandem with fellow superstar Layla led to the formation of Lay Cool, a dominant team that kept both McCool and Layla on top of the women's division for years. After retiring, she meets multiple surprise returns, including multiple Royal Rumble matches, locking up the superstars like Charlotte Flair, Liv Morgan, and Rhea Ripley. From humble beginnings as a middle school science teacher to diva search competitor to now an undeniable legend, McCool takes her rightful place in the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2025. That is really cool, man. And you know what? There's also one other thing. The wife of the Undertaker. hmm But like, how great is that? How wonderful is that? Like, that is so wonderful, man, isn't it? So Michelle McCool will join Triple H in the Hall of Fame class of 25. So far, I'm liking it. And then, speaking of also future Hall of Famers, the farewell tour of John Cena. Yeah. This was as a Monday morning. WWE, part of TKO Group Holdings, announced that Cena will return to Europe in March as part of his 25 farewell tour, and also live on Raw for the final time in Brussels, Glasgow, and London. Mhm. Brussels, Belgium for Raw, Glasgow, Scotland Raw, London, England Raw. Fans attending the Road to WrestleMania Tour of Europe will also see their favorite superstars just weeks ahead of WrestleMania 41. The undisputed WWE Champion, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, the World Heavyweight Champion, the Ring General Gunther, the Women's World Champion, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, CM Punk, Seth frickin' Rollins, Drew McIntyre, WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Bianca Belair and Naomi, and many more. So John's going to Europe. Hey, how about that? So to answer that, so he's a part timer on his final tour. He was filming a film. He started doing a film after the Royal Rumble ended, and he said on his press conference after the show that he will be gone until he goes to Toronto for the Chamber. But it sounds like John's gonna be full time after this, perhaps. Not too sure, but we'll see. So a lot of time in the year to go, and we'll have to wait and see. But so far, so good, man. About John, so far, so good. Okay. Um, and then let's go into the other thing I wanted to grab as well. And that is, excuse me, the 10 Raw and SmackDown takeaways. So these are going to be combined together. Um, hey, listen, I don't think we've ever done this yet, but I wonder, hey, Ron, did you get rid of that 90-second commercial break that we've done before? Because I know we haven't done that in like God knows how long, but I was just curious on if you still had that, uh, just in case the voice had to be rested for a quick couple seconds. That's all. Just food for thought. The 10 takeaways. Number one, odds and ends. So the men's elimination chamber has been completed, and on the women's side, um, that also has been completed as well. Six have punched their tickets in. So those are the odds and ends there. Number two, the gift of gab. LA Knight defeated The Miz to be on the fast track to meet Shinsuke Nakamura for the United States title. Perhaps. No offense to the megastar or the A-lister and what they did in their match, but the 5 minute back and forth between the two was something that needs to be clipped and shown to every up and coming superstar. What made it so good is that both The Miz and LA Knight are virtually the same person, talented yet underrated, and that are oftentimes used to make each other look good. Their moment had the feel that it was totally natural in the moment, and it made me feel completely forget the reason of the two of them being in the ring to find a true warrior to put his title up again. Those two just go right at it like it was. Yeah, it was good. It was really good. Number three, Tag Team Heaven. Quietly, SmackDown has turned into the place where the tag team division will reign supreme. The Motor City Machine Guns and Los Garza put on a top level match, and those two talents didn't even have the title. DIY are the champs, and Pretty Deadly have been solid as well. But with the return of the Street Profits on the horizon, with a strong moment from an angry Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford shown, who just might have the most talent of the entire classification, should bring some interesting moments and high level in ring action. Number four, flipping the script. Tiffany Stratton, I do believe, is the WWE Women's Champion, and Charlotte Flair is the one who hasn't participated in a single match in more than 14 months. You wouldn't, however, be able to tell that from Friday. Flair walked Stratton in Nia Jax's championship match from backstage, and then nonchalantly sat in front of Stratton on a steel chair after Jax annihilated her in the ring and mocked her. The dismissive tone by Flair made you believe that it was her who was the title holder, and Stratton was the challenger. I guess that's why she's the queen. I would be remiss to leave out that Jackson Strand had a solid match. It once again showed that Tiffy could stand in there with the stalwarts. Um, Number five, family trouble. It's become very clear over the past couple of weeks that Jacob Fatu isn't overly thrilled right now. And he's actually not thrilled with how Solo turned his back on the family following the Tribal Combat against Roman on the Raw Netflix debut back in early January. The Samoan Werewolf has been out in front of it ever since. He's sure the hell isn't going to step aside for Solo at this point, nor should he. Nuggets of Solo parking his vehicle next to the trailer with Fatu's photo on it, him wearing all white for the first time in his maybe forever, him saying "I love you, Jacob," and him coming to the aid of his guys last week with the Samoan Spectre Cody has been some top-notch way to reunite the Bud Light regime. It should happen, but without Jacob. Jacob is fast-tracking it to be a regular main eventer, and having Solo regain control of the group with Tama Tonga wherever Tonga Loa returns is an appointment television. Number six, thank you, New Day. The New Day explained their actions of attacking Ray as Raw went off the air with quite a concerning tone and included telling the fans that they needed to thank him for doing what they did. Kofi made some strong points concerning Ray's apparent self-appointment of the locker room leader, including that he himself has been with the company for nearly 19 years and that he never left. The LWO coming to Ray's defense, that should carry the New Day into WrestleMania, but however, the New Day has created sustained heat ever since turning on Big E. It seems like until he returns in some capacity, nothing is going to be satisfied with anyone regarding WWE. Well, most of the fans, of course. New Day sucks. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But what I will say as well, looking at the situation with a New Day, I mean, I was stunned at their actions on Big E for sure. It definitely, to me, is they're getting like Dom Mysterio key, and that to me is like interesting for a tag team right now. Number seven, lost but really won. Let's face it, it would have been a colossal upset if Finn Balor defeated Seth Rollins to advance to the Elimination Chamber, but as expected, Balor lost to Rollins during the main event. But he sure wasn't a loser. While the focus of the match will be on Rollins having an opportunity to advance to WrestleMania if he survives a stacked Elimination Chamber in 10 days in Toronto, you can't discount what Balor did in the ring. It was one of the better matches of the year and made me believe that Balor did have a chance. WWE should capitalize on how those two work so well together, but if not, Balor reintroduced himself as more than the guy out front of the Judgment Day. Okay, that's fair. Number eight, good stuff, but now what? You have to respect the way Gunther continues to troll Jay. Coming to the crowd in Charlotte was the latest way to get under the skin of the 25 Royal Rumble winner that he will face at WrestleMania. It was yet another virtuoso performance on the mic for Gunther, but it's also a little concerning. 9 more Raws until WrestleMania, and there's only so far you can go with the "you don't belong" strategy. Don't get me wrong, it was a very good and it made sense, especially when it looked like the ring general was going to take out the Ultimate Gear, Pat McAfee, after saying he thinks Uso can beat him. But now what? I guess that's why we watch. Number 9, Braun found an opponent. It has felt like if the Intercontinental Champion has been mandering over reclaiming his title 4 months ago, and you're not alone. It's funny what a missed spear could create. Braun's whiff on AJ Styles, ultimately caught by Dirty Dom, has put Braun in a position to have a top-level rivalry against one of the more talented performers in WWE. It's also funny how an impromptu moment like Styles snagging Braun's shirt he threw at him and the crowd's reaction add a little more depth to their confrontation. In this case, it did. And finally, number 10, endless possibilities. What's intriguing about a match that features two superstars, KO and Sammy, have faced each other, nearly 60 times during their time in WWE and many more than that? How about a stipulation that has really been used? An unsanctioned match. They will battle in their home country at Elimination Chamber, where Raw GM Adam Pearce made it clear that the company will not be responsible for what happens to Sammy and the neck injured by KO. The stipulation it sets up endless possibilities of what could go down at the March 1st PLE. Besides the foregone conclusion of it being a brutal bloodbath, Owens has been on the top of his game, which has only been enhanced by his skill on the mic. But Sammy's performance on Raw could have been his best, from his passion to his facial expression to his hatred of his best friend. Interesting. Yeah, I was surprised it was going to be a non-sanctioned match a little bit. I thought they were going to do something a little bit different, maybe, or do something a little more fun there. But I'm happy with a non-sanctioned. But I mean, like, I can see why they would do it for reasons like that, legal. You know what I mean? I saw that coming. Not that much of a big deal there, but we will see about that. And then finally, just real quick, what we have so far for the Elimination Chamber besides Sammy and Kevin. For the women, here's what we have. We have Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, former women's champions, Alexa Bliss, former women's champion, Bayley, former women's champion, Naomi, former women's champion, and former NXT champion Roxanne Perez. For the men, we have former World Heavyweight Champion Damian Priest, the cocky Logan Paul, former World Champion Seth Rollins, former World Champion Drew McIntyre, the clean best in the world CM Punk, and the greatest of all time GOAT John Cena. Hugo Cervera. Yes, he commented with new debut. Yep, Uso. Yep, and did you catch LFG? I said yes. Yeah, LFG has been something on A&E that's really been interesting. I think it's a better version of Tough Enough if you think about it. I mean, you've got what? Big E, Booker T, Mickey James, and Bubba Ray Dudley on the thing, on the panel. That's interesting. It's obviously all going to come down to what happens during the show, but we'll have to see about that. Ricky Starks, now Ricky Saints, came over from AEW, and TNA's Moose also arrived in NXT. So interesting there. But for next week's broadcast of FCA, this will be the following. The card, Elimination Chamber. At that point, it'll be 72 hours away. Dissect it for you. Ron and I will give our predictions, and we will go from there. Anything else I'll have for you for news, I also will have. But guys, we're coming down to the final event before WrestleMania. And right now, with the predictions so far, I'm 4-4. Ron is 5-3. But who knows? That could change as we go down the road. So with that being said, on behalf of the man behind the scenes, the creator of RIB, Rodrigo, this is Erik Dunn saying so long and thank you from my home in Bridgewater, Massachusetts. This has been a presentation of False Count Anywhere on the Rhode Island Broadcasting Network. Next week, for the last one of February, we'll go over the Elimination Chamber card and get you ready to go. Thank you so much for watching and listening.